A few weeks ago, I watched my cat do something I had seen 100 times and never once thought about. She walked up to a full bowl, hooked a few pieces of food out with one paw, and ate them off the floor. The bowl was full. The food was the same food she had eaten all week. She just would not eat it out of the bowl. If your cat does that, you have probably decided she is being fussy. She is not. There is one feeding mistake almost every owner is still making, and it has nothing to do with what you put in the bowl. It is the bowl. By the end of this, you will know 4 things about that bowl your cat notices every day and you have never looked at once. No fear, no scare tactics, just what your cat is actually telling you. And the 4th is barely about the bowl at all. It is about what your cat does with her back while she eats, and it is the clearest read on trust you will ever get in your own kitchen. Stay for that one. Thing 1. She is not fussy. She is crowded. Start with the shape, because you can check it in 4 seconds. A cat does not eat the way we do. She puts her whole face inside the bowl. So if that bowl is deep and narrow, its sides press her cheeks and her whiskers for the entire meal. Here is the part most owners have never been told. A cat's whiskers are roughly as wide as her own body. They are not decoration. They are a measuring tool, a way of knowing whether a gap is wide enough to fit through before she commits. So, a bowl narrow enough to fold them back tells her over and over that she is in a space that does not fit. I went looking for whether anyone had written about the bowl itself rather than the food in it. The feline behaviorist Vicky Halls has, and she has spent years saying wide and shallow beats deep and narrow for most cats. Watch yours tonight. She will clean out the middle and leave a neat ring of food around the edge, like a moat she has decided not to cross. Wide, shallow, low-sided, wide enough that her face fits without touching anything. A flat saucer works. The rule: if food keeps getting left around the rim and not in the middle, that bowl is too narrow for her. Thing 2, the angle you have never noticed. Now watch her posture. With the bowl on the floor, she has to stand on 4 legs and fold her neck down toward her own chest to reach it. 2 or 3 times a day, every day, for her whole life. For a young cat, that is nothing. For an older one, it is not. Duncan Lascelles and other researchers working on joint disease in cats found something that surprises most owners. Sore joints are far more common in older cats than people assume, and cats are extraordinarily good at hiding it. Here is the surprising part. Cats with sore joints almost never limp. They quietly do less. So the sign is not a limp. It is that she stopped jumping onto the counter and you put it down to age. Lift the bowl a few inches. 3 to 6 inches suits most adult cats, and the rule is her head should be level or only slightly tipped down, never tucked toward her chest. If she is over about 8 or moving more carefully than she used to, do it now rather than later. A stack of books works as well as anything you can buy. Tell me in the comments what your cat's bowl looks like, deep or shallow, plastic or steel. I read every one because the next one happens before a single piece of food reaches her mouth, and it is the one I got most wrong. Thing 3, what the bowl smells like to her. Your cat decides whether to eat with her nose, not her mouth, and she does not smell the food first. She smells the bowl first because the bowl is closer, and it is what her face goes into. Plastic is soft. Every claw and tooth that catches it takes a tiny scratch, and those scratches hold oil from every meal before this one. You cannot smell it. She has been reading it for months, so a bowl that looks perfectly clean to you can smell to her. Like a stack of old dinners. Not dangerous, just wrong, in a way she cannot explain to you. She sniffs the bowl, backs off half a step, then comes back and eats anyway. That is a cat overriding her own nose because she is hungry, which is not the same as a cat enjoying her food. Stainless steel or properly glazed ceramic because neither holds a scratch the way plastic does. Wash it daily in hot water with plain unscented soap and rinse twice if your soap is perfumed. The rule of thumb: if you can smell the bowl at all, she smelled it an hour ago, which leaves the one I promised you at the start. Thing 4, the thing she does with her back. When a cat eats, she does not just lower her head, she turns her back on whatever is behind her. Spine exposed, head down, eyes off the room, hearing full of the sound of her own jaw. Sarah Heath, a veterinary behaviorist, has written a great deal about how much of a cat's day goes into feeling safe. She is a predator, but small enough to be prey. And with her face in a bowl, she has switched off the two senses she trusts most. The question is not whether she eats. It is who she is willing to do it in front of. If you can stand in your kitchen doing something ordinary while she puts her head down and properly eats, not one bite and a check, she has made a decision about you. She has filed you under nothing to watch for. And that decision has almost nothing to do with whether she is cuddly. Some cats will not sit on a lap. Some walk off halfway through being stroked and settle 3 feet away, and their owners quietly wonder what they are doing wrong. If that is your cat, stand near her at dinner and watch her back. A cat who will not be held but eats with her spine turned towards you is not tolerating you. She has decided you are not something she needs to keep track of. And for an animal with that many instincts arguing otherwise, that is close to the largest compliment available. Some will do it and still keep one ear rotated back toward you the whole meal. That ear is not suspicion. That is a cat keeping loose track of someone she has already chosen to have in the room. Turn the bowl so she eats looking into the room with a wall behind her. Then be in the room and be boring. Boring repeated for a few weeks is how a cat learns a person is furniture. And furniture is the highest safety rating she hands out. The honest truth, what the bowl cannot fix. I got this wrong for years. I thought a cat leaving food meant she disliked the food, and I bought a lot she was never going to eat out of that bowl. There is also something you will hit the moment you go looking. You will find the whisker point, described online as proven science with numbers attached. It is not settled. It is a popular idea with many owner reports behind it and not much published work, and I would rather say so than pretend. Wide and shallow is still worth doing because it costs nothing and plenty of cats visibly prefer it. And none of this applies if the change was sudden. A cat who ate normally yesterday and will not eat today is not telling you about her bowl. 2 days off, her food is worth a calm vet call. Not because something is definitely wrong, but because cats cope badly with not eating. And if you have fed your cat from the same deep plastic bowl for 6 years, nothing bad has happened to her. She has been fine. Almost nobody tells owners any of this, and now you know. So tonight, when you put her food down, look at the bowl instead of what is going into it. Wide, low, clean, and facing the room. That is the whole thing. Then stand somewhere near her, do something boring, and wait. If she turns her back on you and eats, she has answered the only question you were really asking. Tell me in the comments whether your cat eats with her back to you or checks over her shoulder. If this made you look at something in your kitchen differently, a like helps it reach the next owner who thinks their cat is just fussy. And if you would rather understand your cat than guess at her, that is the entire reason this channel exists. I'll see you in the next one.